Good morning, everyone. I'm Lynette, and this is Charmed Grammy Crochet. And today is January 2nd, so today is Fun in 21 Day 2. And I have a gift. Do you guys want to see it? I do. I've been waiting a long time, right? So have you. Let's see what's in here. Madonna and I did a swap, and my box got delayed, so it was an advent swap, so I have 25 packages. If you're new here, if you are, thanks for coming. And feel free to hit the subscribe button if you like what you see. I appreciate every one of my subscribers. And if you're not new, thanks for hanging out. Oh, look at this. It's wrapped and then it's double wrapped. Okay, sorry, all that crinkling and I got a double wrap. Okay, let's see what else. Let's go a little further. Double wrapped whammy on me, Madonna. Oh, look. Oh, and there's a note. Okay, so look, it's a little angel. I gotta get out because I'm only seeing the back. So then it's double wrapped and packaged. Hold on, let's see. Packaged with a note. Got the note. She is adorable. Look at her. Oh, she's just like a praying Madonna angel. My Madonna angel. Madonna for Madonna. So what does it say? I hope I'm supposed to read this. Oh, this is, okay, this is a mercy angel. When you have a need you are praying for, no matter what it is, she will ask for your mercy so that the need will be filled. Love you. Oh, my. Yeah, I need this. I need this a lot. Look at her. Oh, thank you, Madonna. Oh, I love her. Oh, she is beautiful. I'll turn you just a little, so I have this curio cabinet right here. She will have a spot in there for sure. And I will pray on her, or with her, or whatever that happens, however that happens. Thank you so much. She's going to go with my special treasures in the glass covered cabinet. Because, you know, that's how that is. So, I did yesterday work on some Willow Squares with the minis. So in case you're interested, the 2 minis made 4 squares minus this right here, this last pink color, which the yarn was a little bit thicker. This yarn is more, the mini yarn is like a Simply Soft, you know, it's got that shine to it. I really liked working with it, though it didn't split like Simply Soft, but it's got that shine like Simply Soft, and it was thinner than, like, this is like regular Red Heart, this pink at the end. But I don't know, when I put the borders on and you know, sew them together, it'll be fine. And I did want to say, I don't know what it's a mini of. You know, like, I can't say that this is, I just don't know if there is a big yarn cake that Red Heart sells that these are just smaller versions of. But I will tell you that where they are joined together, if this was a mini of a bigger cake, and the cakes are made the same, where these yarns are joined together, there is a knot, but it's not much of a knot. The threads are woven together. So when they go from blue to pink, where that join is, the yarn isn't just knotted. It's not really even knotted. Well, there is a little knot, but the threads are woven together like this. And then I thought that was really nice. So that's my little review of the mini. If you're making squares this size with a 6mm hook, you'll get about 4 of them out of there, almost 4. And I did start on the Medeivale squares that I'm going to do for the make along with Judy from Witch Pete's Crafts. I will link that below again. And I will link the Willow Squares. But this is my first one, and this is Dreamweaver yarn, and this was this is Stitch Studio white, and when it's used up, because I don't have a lot of that, I'm gonna go with Red Heart, I think, is the other one I had. I have a lot of Pound of Love, but it's a thinner yarn, so I didn't pull it out because I thought it would, this red it's a little bit on a thick side for a 4 weight. So I didn't want to go with the Pound of Love because that's real thin. And I have a lot of solids in the Dreamweaver yarn. So anyway, I just thought the thickness of the Pound of Love kind of makes it more like a 3 to me, you know, compared to this one that's just really thick. So anyway, that's enough of that. That's what I worked on yesterday. It took me a long time to make this one because I wrote the pattern down as she went with it, and it's a lot of writing to make the pattern, but the pattern isn't really hard. It's just a lot of writing to make it. And I probably could find it somewhere and download it and print it. My printer is a pain in the rear end to use. If I would have realized that it was going to be a 1.5 pages of writing to write the pattern, I would have printed it, but it is what it is. So I did, you know, I have mentioned yesterday that I'm not really goal oriented as far as my crochet because it's a leisure activity for me. But I used to keep a project journal, and I got real lazy about that. I am going to go back and try to fill in some of that of my project journal because it's nice to know what size hook you used and how much yarn you used, and that's what I was keeping it for. So I might go in and then it was nice to know at the end of the year that, oh, look, I made all these things, but I don't remember what all I made. I can go through my finished objects tutorials. I have a playlist of things that I've made, and probably figure out a lot of the things that I made that aren't in the book. There's a couple of things that I made that I did straight from a pattern. Yay me! I was real proud of that. That was kind of a goal, really, to be able to read pattern and make something by myself. And I did do that. It was real simple stuff, but I did do that. So go me. So I don't know if I'm going to pick that back up again or not. I should. But what I am going to do for sure, and I wanted to share this, I have this big, huge, it's cheese ball tub. And I'm going to save all of my yarn bands this year and see how many skeins of yarn I finished. So these are the first 2 because they're the 2 minis. So the yarn bands are in there. If I finish this skein of yarn, the yarn band goes in there. Even if it was well, these skeins are two together wrapped up. But most of the time, when I have leftover yarn, I keep the yarn band on it and I clip it together so I know what the yarn is, what, you know. But not all the time. I mean, sometimes I don't. But so if I finish a scrap skein of yarn and it has the band on it, it'll go in there because there'll be scrap skeins of yarn that don't have bands on it. So I figure that'll work out. So that's my new thing for 2021 is how many yarn bands am I going to have at the end. So I have this big cheese ball. This is my cheese ball bin. I have another cheese ball with scraps in it, cheese ball bin, but I washed it, and then in that one, because they do seal pretty well with, you know, the top on them, I put a dryer sheet in it so to make sure they don't smell like cheese balls, even though I have washed it out. So one last thing before I go today. Yesterday in the comments, someone had commented on my my stained glass flower. I made this, it was a couple of years ago, gosh, maybe 4 or 5, no, my mom was still alive, so probably at least 5 years ago. I went into a glass store and they had these beautiful framed pictures. And they were framed like this. And behind it is a mirror. So you can see you get like a lot of the facets of the bevels. It's not, so let me show you. Let me take it apart a little bit. Just in case you're interested, because you might be. You might not be. If you're not, you don't have to watch. Here we go. So this has a yellow mirror behind it, and I put the mirror in there. There wasn't a mirror in the frame, but the mirror has some facets on it as well. So I put the mirror in there, and then I made this and put it in front of the mirror. And I bought this frame at that store that sells the Dreamweaver yarn. That store sells some really awesome things. So I bought the frame, and I don't know what was in it. I don't even remember, but I wasn't using that. I just wanted the yellow frame to go in my mom's kitchen. And so I was inspired by the mirrored pictures in this glass store that I went into. So I had some mirror glass, and I thought that the yellow mirror glass looked really pretty, and I could hang it like in a window. You'd hang it in a window like this so that you get the light through it, but this wasn't designed to hang in the window. It was designed to put the glass in. Put it back. So it was designed, and you can, it doesn't matter which, it's like an 8x10 frame. And then to reflect, like, the picture, the glass behind it. So for Christmas this was my test pattern to see if I could, like, make it work out. So some of these came as a kit, this little flower center, and every other of these they're called bevels, because they're beveled. And then I made, so when you do stained glass, you kind of make a pattern, and it looks like a puzzle. So you cut it, you make 2 copies of your pattern, and then you cut it apart, 1 copy. So you have 1 copy that's your working copy, and you lay that down on your board or your working surface. So you lay down your main pattern, and then the copy of it, you cut apart and you tape it to your glass and cut out your glass around the pattern. So that's why you need 2, and that ensures that your pieces fit together, because you have to, so then you build it like a puzzle. As you put it together, you build it like a puzzle, and getting things to fit inside a frame, when you're making something freelance like that, rose in the window, it doesn't matter if it grows or not, because it's not in a specific spot. But when you're trying to fit it into a frame, then it has to fit. Let's just go ahead. It can't be bigger than the frame. And glass isn't very forgiving as far as, oh, you can squish it in there. It breaks. That's then a problem, particularly if it breaks in the middle, because then you got to take it all apart or leave it with the break in it. Depending on the piece. I have a window over here. Let me turn you real quick. I made that window, and it almost fit. I was a teeny hair off, and my husband said, "Oh, I think I can just," I'm like, "No, too late." There is a crack in it, and it stayed. One of the pieces cracked when, it's glass. That's what's going to happen. And I wasn't taking it apart because it was in the center. I'm like, nope, the mirrors didn't crack, because it does have mirrors in it. If you didn't see them, the big ovals are mirrors. That was the last window I made. So this was the first one, and it's not really a window, it's just a picture. And then I made 3 more, one for each of my kids and their household. And then I made that one for myself. And my idea was that I was going to put one in that window, which is a dining room window, and then these 2 windows behind me, because we used to have houses there. There is one house, but it's way far away now. There used to be 3 more houses there. And so, like, for privacy, plus I love stained glass, so I was going to do that. But when I put the first one in, it really subtracted, even though they're clear, it really subtracted from the light in the room. And so I didn't put more in. And I would almost want to take that one out of that window because it's at the back of the house and put it in one of these windows because our pool is back there. And now it's hard to see the pool when you're, I have to stand up to see the pool. And it would have been nicer if that bottom window was open in the summertime. You could see the pool. And it does make the window very heavy. Now we have to brace it. When we raise that window in the summertime, we have to put a piece of wood under it because it won't stay up by itself. Glass is heavy. Anyway, that's just a little glass tour. Just on a side note, but I thought you might enjoy seeing, you guys like to see stuff that's not yarny sometimes, just other crafty stuff. So there we go. That's what I have with my glass and my beautiful angel. Thank you so much, Madonna. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.